guys, it's Katie Book Corner here, and welcome back to my channel. And I'm actually coming to you with my July reading, my July TBR, and also something fun that I'm going to be doing later in the month. So I'm going to, where's the TBR page? So in the month of July, I'm going to be reading about 10 books, give or take, and for some of them I'm doing, so for the month of July, I think from July 22nd to the 8th, I'm going to be participating in my first ever part of this read-along that's been going on for years. It used to be Bookatube read-along, I think. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, but they recently changed it to the Reading Rush, and I'm going to be participating in the Reading Rush. So I'm going to show you the books I'm going to read besides the books I'm going to be reading for the read-along. So the first book that's not part of the read-along I happen to be reading happens to be Percy Jackson and the Last Olympians. So this is book 5 of the Percy Jackson series, and it also happens to be my last book in my read-along for Percy Jackson. I enjoyed rereading the series from beginning to end. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and so I'm excited to get to the last book. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So that is the first book that's not part of the read. So I'm going to tell you the books we're going to be reading before of the books that are not being part of the read-along. So we have Flawless and Olympian, and then we have the Books with Friends Book Club Pick of the Month, which happens to be The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. So, funny story. I was supposed to read this in June. And then, it was, the very beginning of June. Chloe and Spence kind of came out and said, oh, this is the book for July, and happens to be The Last Magician. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to switch books, and I am not going to be reading, I didn't read The Last Magician. I switched it with another book. So I will be reading The Last Magician in the month of July. And the other book that I'm going to be actually listening to, so there are about 4 books I currently don't have, because they're actually going to be audiobooks. I kind of wanted to get back into doing audiobooks also besides reading. So the first audiobook I'm actually going to be listening for the month is, I'm going to be listening to Cinder by Marissa Meyer. It's part of the her series that she has. A friend of mine just recently read the first book and she loved it. And so I'm like, oh, let me read the first book and we could do a read along with the second book, or listen to it, because my friend enjoys audiobooks more than actually physical reading. She does still physical read, but for her it's easier to do audiobooks. So if I'm able to finish Cinder in time, or yeah, Cinder. I want to. I'm a handy dandy bullet journal. Yeah, Cinder. So that is the first audiobook I'm going to be listening to this month. I actually plan to read listen to the audiobooks this month. Cinder is the first one. And if I'm able to finish Cinder in this month, I am then going to pick up Scarlet, which is the second book of the series. And that way me and my friend Allie could actually do the read-along, listen to it together and be able to discuss it. The third audiobook I'm picking up, I've heard a lot of good things, because a lot of people on BookTube have talked about this book and how much they really enjoyed the audiobook for it, and that happens to be Daisy Jones and the Six. Um, I actually just bought the audiobook today, and I'm actually pretty excited. I'm also going to be reading that in July. It's another book that my friend Allie and I really just want to be able to read together, and so we're going to be reading listening to Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm also going to be borrowing the book from my local library, so just I can be able to follow along with the book also. I did that for A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue last month, and I enjoyed listening to it and also having the audiobook. Listening to it and having that physical book with me. I'm also borrowing Cinder and Scarlet from my local library instead of buy the books, because I haven't been to my local library in so long and I missed it, and so I'm going to be borrowing books from my local library, which I'm going to be enjoying. And the last book I'm going to mention before we start my TBR for the reading rush is The Vanishing Stair by Maureen Johnson. So this is book 2 of the Truly Devious series. I forgot what I read. I think I read Truly Devious in May. Handed in his bullet journal. I'm gonna read Truly Devious. So I read Truly Devious in April. Yeah, I read Truly Devious in April. So it's been about a full 2 months since I read Truly Devious, but it's still really so much fresh in my mind that I don't have to go back and reread Truly Devious to know what's going to happen in The Vanishing Stair. This is also another series I've heard so much about from other booktubers who've actually read the books. So I'm who has already read this, and so I'm ready to dive deep into The Vanishing Stair. So I'm excited. So now we're going to talk about the Reading Rush 2019. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to do this because this is my first time doing this. And so they have about 7 questions that you have to come up with to read. And so it's like, oh, I'm so excited, I want to do this. So question 1 is, read a book with a purple on the cover. And they mentioned, like, it could be a little purple, be lilac. And so what I'm choosing to do is, the book that I chose with purple on the cover is, I chose Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. As you can see, it has beautiful lilacs. This is the Barnes & Noble's edition, and this is the spine, and we have beautiful lavender, lilac colored sprayed edges. And so this is going to be, to read a book with a purple on the cover is Wuthering Heights. And then I have read a book in the same spot for the entire time. So for all 7 days, I just sit in the same spot, which is probably going to be the spot I'm sitting in right now. This is my reading nook. And I think the book I'm going to end up choosing would be Ghosts of the Shadow Market, which is by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, Emily Link, and Robin Wasserman. So I listened to 2 of the stories on audio just this past year. And so I'm excited to have the official bind-up of the Ghost of the Shadow Market. And so I'm probably going to read this and be sitting in this lovely chair. 3. Read a book you meant to read last year. So I started reading the Tudor series by Philippa Gregory last year. And I started off with The Other Boleyn Girl, which is book 6 or 9. And I meant to read the first book, which happens to be The Lady of Rivers. And I don't own a physical copy of The Lady of the Rivers, so I'm renting that from my local library. But that is the book that I meant to read last year. and I'm going to get to it this year. Question 4. Read an author's first book. So the book I chose for this happens to be Christine Riccio, who is a fellow booktuber. I forgot. I'm so bad. I'm horrible. I don't remember her YouTube handle. Can I cheat and look? I am horrible. I've been bad. Poland Bana Books. So she came out with, she wrote her own novel, and it's called Again But Better. And so it's her first novel, and so that is going to be my answer for number 4. Again But Better. So read a book with a non-human character. So for that, I'm doing a book that has a vampire and a witch in it. It's actually a book 2 of a series that I'm very excited to read actually. And AMC came out with the TV show this year. Well, it aired on the Sundance channel, and I didn't get that it was on AMC. And that happens to be Shadow of Night by Deborah Harkness. So she's the author of A Discovery Witches, which is the name of the TV show. This is book 2 of the All Souls trilogy. I've been meaning to read this book after I read A Discovery of Witches earlier this year. So I am really excited to actually be able to read it this month. And so that is going to be my answer for number 5. Because they said either witches or vampires for the question. They're non-human, they're witches and vampires. Pick a book that has 5 or more words on the title. And for that, I'm going to be doing Ghosts of the Shadow Market, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exact words on the title. And so, this is the book for number 6, which I'm excited again to read. Read and watch a book to movie adaptation. So again, this week we use the same book for multiple questions. And so for that one, I'm doing Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. And this also just happens to be my classic for the month. And so I'm excited to dive back into the world of Wuthering Heights. So those are that's 7 out of the 11 books. I was off by 1. How am I off by? Sorry, I have to consult. Yep, 11. Sorry, I miscounted before. But those are the 11 books I'm going to be reading this month. I am so excited to be part of the Reading Fresh 2019. And I will be, my reading wrap up for June will be up soon, I hope. It is currently only June 27th, so I still have 2 books to finish for the month, so I'm hoping to finish them before Monday, at least. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!